Hi everybody, and welcome back to a very extra special... Wait, let me redo that. Maybe I'll start with the Happy Annie.
Sure.
It'd be chaotic, but it'd match the energy of the episode.
I have a different, worse opening.
Oh? Okay, welcome back everyone to a very extra special episode of Safehouse Chats. This is our 1 year anniversary episode.
1, 2, I have an anniversary party for Mr. Beast.
I never thought this day would come. Where
Speed run to rendering my co-host silent.
Where Snap would acknowledge my buffoonery.
I acknowledge your buffoonery every episode, buddy. Don't worry.
But join in on it too.
That is true. Yeah.
You're the straight man to my buffoon.
It's a harsh term, but I won't argue. I'm just getting into the spirit of the wonderful background that you made and showed me prior to the episode. I'm mostly responsible for the visuals in terms of, editing Bo Burnham or Key & Peele or whoever into the episode.
Hell yes.
But I think this background really has us off on the right foot.
First of all, thank you. And secondly, I think it just reflects the absolute chaos that is about to ensue.
I'm worried that both of us are like, oh, this is going to be the silliest episode ever. What if it ends up being like really straight-laced? And we have a perfectly reasonable discussion for 1 hour.
Well, I do have a contingency plan.
Oh, God.
Yes. So, all of that aside, I'll be the first one to wish our podcast a happy first birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Safehouse Chats.
Yes. Love you so much, Pookie. Happy birthday. I'm your co-host, Aris.
Oh, yeah, I'm your co-host, Snap. And I am wearing my Sly Cooper anniversary t-shirt.
Oh.
That they sold in 2022 and that I put in my closet and never wore.
Never wore?
And it's got a cool design. It's got the 4... Yeah, I'm one of those people who's like, oh, this is so cool and nice. I need to put it on a high shelf and never touch it. I have to be better about using the nice things I own. And it's a Sly Cooper anniversary, so I have to wear it right now.
You better. It is a pretty cool shirt, I have to admit.
It's really good. Yeah, it deserves to be carefully kept in a wardrobe forever and never sullied.
Good job, Sony. Kudos!
Yeah.
So this is, as you might have gathered, a special celebration episode for which we've decided to plan a few games for each other.
Yeah, just kind of...
Games, quotation marks.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, I don't have any prizes. I don't have a strict set of rules to mine. We're just kind of doing... Well, I'm just kind of doing... I'll find out what Iris has planned in a second. But we're going to just kind of have a nice low-key discussion about Sly Cooper-related stuff. We're not covering any particular game. We're not covering any particular topic. We're just enjoying this series at the time we've spent with it.
Yeah. We're just going to make our way through a few blind packages, if you will.
Yeah, fumbling around in the dark.
I don't know what Snap has planned.
Yeah, but you'll find out.
I do have a very small note here before we get going.
What's that?
I have it here because it stood out to me.
Uh-huh.
While I was listening to our last episode, which was,
okay.
Just upon reflecting upon my behavior, going off the rails.
Why do I feel like this is a wind-up to some kind of tearful YouTube apology video? Are you going to break out the ukulele?
Not just yet. Maybe going off a bit off the rails, discussing the Black Baron's... Bleep that out, please.
Okay. Make a note of that in the episode. 7 minutes in.
Break out the editing chops.
Yep.
For the Black Baron's...
No, okay, that was just making note of that too. Please move on.
I just, you know something? I stand by what I said, 100%.
Of course.
I just feel like I didn't elaborate.
Oh, well, you don't have to. It's the wonderful thing. You don't have to elaborate if you don't want to.
But if I don't elaborate on the 1 year Annie episode, when will I?
Never, and that's fine.
On the Black Baron episode, perhaps.
Oh, God.
I felt like it was a comment made in haste.
Okay.
And although I do want to double down on it and say, you know what, I do think he has what I said he has. I just, yeah, I don't like to start something and not see it through. I'm not a quitter.
Okay.
I'm an achiever. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it was a thought out comment, even though it seemed random in the moment.
I think you might be the first person who is like, that was a comment that I made in haste, but I just want to state on the record that I'm doubling down and I meant every word of it and I could talk about it more if I wanted to, which is not normally how comments made in haste are referred to after the fact.
I am accepting no judgment at the moment.
Okay.
Especially on the Black Barons. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That was a good 2 minutes. What's your first game, please?
Blind package number 1. The first game we are playing tonight is Guess Who.
Oh, okay.
But to make it a bit more interesting, we'll play 3 rounds.
Okay.
You have played Guess Who.
It's the one where you flip down faces.
Yes.
There's a famous vine of... You know Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paz. ¿Tu personaje tiene estabilidad mental?
Sí.
Es Momo.
That's my go-to Guess Who memory.
Okay, my go-to Guess Who memory is that my best friend from high school gifted it for my birthday to me, but instead changed all the cards with people from our high school.
Oh, that's kind of cursed. That's a lot of effort.
That is dangerous territory.
Just to clarify, you have 3 characters for me. I don't have... Do I have to come up with the characters?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, God.
We are playing 3 rounds and you do have to come up with ideas for your head, but to make it more interesting, we'll play 3 rounds. 1 for characters, 1 for episodes, and 1 for missions.
Okay.
Yes or no questions only. Round 1 is characters.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, do I get to start?
Do you have a character in mind?
Yeah, I picked one just there.
Okay.
Okay, so I do get to start. Is your character female?
No.
Okay.
That eliminates 3 choices.
If you had said yes, that would have been really cool. But you didn't. We've still narrowed down some. Okay, you go.
Okay. Is your character in more than 1 game?
No.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. Is your character... I was going to ask if they were a criminal, but that's really... Who isn't? Is your character a villain?
Would you classify Sly as a villain, though?
No. Like, let me rephrase. Is your character an antagonist to the player?
No.
Okay.
Is your character female?
Can I say I don't know? If I don't know.
If it's battery of fucking peril. I'm gonna make my way over the pond. The pond being the Irish Sea.
Yeah, the smaller pond.
The kiddie pool.
Yeah.
So you don't know?
I genuinely don't know. You've blown this case wide open very quickly.
Well...
I assume a guess is just... Like, if I guess, that's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Did you pick the Palace Doorman?
No.
Okay. Not the Palace Doorman.
Did you pick the Ruby handlers.
You know I did. You know 100%. That is exactly the Indian Thief Guild person who speaks.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, that's my choice. That I don't know if they're female or not. They wear a robe and they have an androgynous voice and they don't have pronouns. That was my pick.
To anyone tuning in, that is how you play and win this game.
Who did you have?
Well, you have to guess.
Oh, I have to keep going. All right. Male, not an antagonist, and not the palace doorman.
I can't believe I guessed that.
Yeah, well, that's what I get for being like, oh, I gotta pick someone weird and special who I don't know the gender of.
Battery of Peril. Add cool to the list.
Is it the van?
No, but that was my second guess when you said you didn't know.
Oh, okay. Are they a member of the Cooper gang or are they just like neutral?
Neutral.
Because they aren't an antagonist.
No.
Okay, so they're neutral. It's not Black Spot Pete.
No.
Okay.
I wish it was.
Better not be.
Are they blind?
Does this character have a confirmed name or do we just call them something?
They do.
Okay, so it's not Pastagard, say.
No.
Oh god, this is hard. You've picked a harder one than. Does your character appear in beloved 2013 video game Sly Cooper Thieves in Time?
No.
Okay. Does your character appear in Sly 1?
No.
Okay. Does your character appear in Sly 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm blanking so badly on this.
Snap! What the fuck?
Don't be mean to me.
I'm not mean. I was just like, did not expect you to be bad at this game.
Is it the Guru? No, you said he's not a member of the
What?
gang. What the fuck?
Gagged me, for sure.
And they do have a name.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what's tripping me up. How many named characters aren't antagonists? Is it Richards?
No. What?
Are they a mammal?
Yeah.
You're getting some uncertainty. Are they an unusual color for their species?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck me.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I know this is backfired so badly on you.
I love how, like, I was like, oh my god, character is gonna be so easy. I should throw episodes and missions into the mix to make it even more difficult.
This is gonna fill the full hour. Are they introduced in Venice?
No.
Are they introduced in Australia?
No.
Are they introduced in Holland?
No.
Are they introduced in China?
No.
Are they introduced in Bloodbath Bay?
They are not.
Are they introduced in Honor Among Thieves?
No.
Are they introduced in the prologue?
Yes.
And it's not Richards. Is it Dr. M? No, he's neutral.
No.
What the fuck? What have you done to me? You have made up a guy.
Come on. It cannot be more clear.
What the fuck?
I hope our listeners are having as much fun as we are.
You're just... This is like gaslighting me into making me question whether... Do I even like Sly Cooper? Have I ever played Sly 3? Maybe I haven't.
Snap exposed, not even a fan.
Sly knocks out 2 elephants. He talks to Bentley. Penelope and Panda King help him move along the track. He goes into the lab. Dimitri is there. Dr. Michael. She called me
It's after the encounter with Dr. M.
McSweeney.
Yes.
Jesus
For fuck's
Christ.
sake.
My brain just slid over the existence
Lord
of McSweeney.
Almighty.
Oh, yeah, there's no excuse for that. So thanks for joining us for this episode. We're not going to ever make any more of the podcast.
Snap fake fan.
Yeah.
You know, my first option was Winthorpe. You would have never...
That would have been a similar problem. I was thinking I said there was no excuse, but here's my excuse. I was in a game focused. We should do some kind of episode on the stuff that isn't the games. Because I was just too focused on the games. And if they didn't appear in the games, which McSweeney kind of doesn't. McSweeney appears in the comic more so, and then Sly briefly recaps.
What?
I wouldn't say he's introduced. We don't meet him. He's explained to... It's exposition. Sly says, I met a guy. We don't know what he sounds like. Anyway, no. Leave a comment lambasting me for my failure, because I deserve it.
Snap exposed as a fake McSweeney fan.
Yeah.
The McSweeney fandom is dying.
Please.
Please leave a like and a subscribe if you haven't already to keep it alive. I should have said, here's a tip. He wasn't Rocket Robot on Wheels.
That would have just made me even more confused. I would have been like, was it Rocket? Because he's in Sly, he's Ghost.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to round 2 episodes.
Okay.
I'll start.
Please.
Okay. Does this episode take place in Asia?
No. Does your episode take place in Asia?
It does not.
Okay.
Is your episode in Sly 2?
It is not.
It's not.
Is your episode in Sly 2?
It's not.
Okay. This is a lot of misses. Almost like we're playing Battleship starring Rihanna. To recap, neither of us picked a Sly 2 episode, and neither of us picked an Asian episode.
But both of us stan Rihanna in Battleship.
I can't claim to have watched it.
I haven't watched it either.
I don't think I'm going to. No.
I have not.
I don't think I'm going to make time for it.
I haven't watched it. Is she serving? Absolutely.
We can only assume so.
She's both serving and serving.
Just to explain the joke for our audio listeners, Aris saluted in a militaristic style on the first serving and then like splayed his hand in a more fanciful manner.
Engaged in some malicious gay
There we go. See, I'm not allowed to be saying that. You can go ahead and say it.
Go ahead and bleep that out.
Okay.
The Black Baron's Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'll be there anyway. I'll be... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your question.
Well, I mean, there's so many avenues I can take this down now. Does your episode take place in Sly 1?
It does.
Oh.
Yes.
This is our first yes answer since we've started playing the game. That wasn't my direct guess.
Yeah. That's... God, you're right. Yeah. Does your episode take place in Europe?
It does.
Okay.
Is your episode... Okay, there's 4 options remaining.
Yes.
And I could either take a shot in the dark and have a 1 out of 4 chance of getting it, or ask a question that would eliminate 2 of them.
This is a lot of strategy.
Battleship. In the spirit of the 1 Year Annie crackhead Rihanna salute energy, is it Tide of Terror?
It is. God damn it. Meanwhile, I am left with like 3 options, and I know you like 2 of them almost equally. I mean, at this point, the game is over anyway. Opera of Fear.
No.
Flight of Fancy.
I was so tempted to like pull another McSweeney and have you guess until like you had to guess.
Please, no. We're on the first game.
And pull another McSweeney and have you guess until you lost your mind over guessing Goodbye My Sweet, but it is Flight of Fancy.
Goodbye My Sweet. Fuck off. Alright, that was much, much closer. I still lost badly, but much closer.
Goodbye My Sweet. Period.
That's great, but it's not an episode. It is it's a video.
No.
It's a video you can unlock.
Put some respect on Goodbye My Sweet's name.
Alright, I will.
Round 3 missions. The difficult one.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Is your mission...
Wait. I let you, because I am curious, I let you take a shot in the dark, like guess out of all the missions, and if I say no, you can still ask your question.
Alright.
I just want to see if there's any chance you'll guess it.
Well, there's an obvious answer that I feel like I shouldn't go for because it's too obvious. Spirit of the anniversary episode. Is it Battery of Peril?
It is not.
Okay, yeah. I figured it wasn't.
Because contrary to what you believe, Battery of Peril, the mission, as we actually did discuss on our Slide 3 coverage, is a great mission. But in its capacity as a character, now that's where you'd get me.
Uh-huh. My actual question was, is your mission some kind of mini-game?
Meaning...
You know that there are some missions where, like, Sly jumps into a vehicle and the whole mission is just him doing a vehicle thing.
It's not a mini game.
Okay.
Can I do the guess out of all the missions?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't think you're gonna get mine.
You don't?
No. Not like this.
See, I was gonna say Lemon Rage, but now that you said that...
Again, I didn't pick Lemon Rage the same way you didn't pick Battery of Peril. It was a very short game.
Okay, is it Mojo Trap Action?
No, but that was a good guess.
Damn it.
Yeah, you have a real question now.
Does your mission take place in Prague?
It does not.
Okay.
Do you play as Sly in your mission?
I do.
Okay.
Does your mission involve hacking?
It does not.
Oh.
Do you exclusively play as Sly in your mission?
You do.
Okay. Okay.
Is yours a Sly 1 mission?
It is. Do you take photographs in the course of your mission?
You don't.
Okay, good. That rules out, like, every recon mission at the start of every level.
Is your mission at the dog track?
No. Does your mission involve Constable Neela?
No.
Okay.
Does your mission involve Mari?
It does not.
Okay.
Would you describe the mission you chose as difficult?
I mean...
No immediate feelings.
What are the difficult missions?
One that
I'd say, like, I'd have to... It's not one that, like, I could play, like, laying down and just chilling. You know?
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's some missions you can definitely play with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Is your mission a chore?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Does your mission involve pickpocketing?
It does.
Okay.
Is your mission Treasure in the Depths?
It is not.
Oh?
Is your mission the mission where you have to steal the keys at Dimitri's nightclub and then use the turret to explode the boxes or whatever?
No.
Damn it. Had a good feeling about that guess.
So, Snap's mission is a chore
Yeah.
to the point where, like, it needed several yes. It doesn't involve Mari, so it's not racing or protecting Mari. And it's not Treasure in the Depths. And it doesn't involve hacking, so it's not the Bentley hacking mission.
Yep.
So what does that leave us with?
Indeed, that is the question.
Is it down home cooking?
No, but that also would have been a great pick. I'm trying to think of what your mission. You only play as Sly. There is pickpocketing, and it is not the pickpocketing tutorial in Sly 2. It can't be anything in Sly 1 because they hadn't invented pickpocketing yet. Is it the one where you have to pickpocket the Contessa's guard key and activate the alarm and then take a picture of the encryption algorithm?
No.
Okay.
And also, you asked me if you have to take pictures, and I said no.
Oh, that's right. Can I guess again? Because I fucked up?
No.
That's right. Was that my question? Yes.
So if it's not Treasure in the Depths and it's not down home cooking, it is a chore and it doesn't involve Mari, nor hacking from Sly 1. The rest of the rally level is platforming. So the Mari missions take over the chores for Mugshot.
Right.
I'm thinking, would you classify, and this is not my question, would you classify the hover shooter as a chore? But I don't think you would go so far as to say repeatedly yes, yes, yes.
It's not your question, so I'm not giving you an answer. Yeah.
And then Panda King is mostly platforming except for racing and the hover thing. And then Clockwork. The rest is also... So maybe... Is it the van mission?
No.
No?
That involves Murray, surely.
Well, I guess it does. I don't know which... Well...
Is your one the one... Oh, I actually remember the name of this one. Close to Contessa.
It is actually named Close to the Contessa.
Okay.
And you have guessed correctly.
Hooray! I pulled myself out of the fire with that one. The game is not 3-0. And now I get my own McSweeney moment as I watch you fail to remember this mission that does exist.
Is it Piranha Lake?
It's Piranha Lake!
It was like literally my next answer.
Alright, fine. It's just, you went through the whole game and you were like, oh, in Miss Ruby's level, there's the hover one.
Yeah, because you said no, because I was thinking like, I said I'll get back to that because I had that in mind.
Okay.
I just think that you'd hate Down Home Cooking and the van more than Piranha Lake. I definitely take Piranha Lake 100 times over the van mission for sure.
Yeah. I've been, as I said in the last episode, I've been very slowly playing through Sly 1. And I haven't gotten as far as Clockwork, but I finished the Ms. Ruby episode. Piranha Lake went rough this time. I will be honest. I didn't have a good time at Piranha Lake. I also had to look up what it was named on the wiki.
Is it not Piranha Lake?
No, you're right. But when I picked the mission, I just picked in my head the one with the skiff. And I had to confirm myself.
Skiff?
Yeah, it's a swamp skiff.
Well, that sounds like several things that it should not.
Alright, so I start very basic.
Okay.
My question is just, if you got to make a Sly Cooper ancestor, a fancestor, if you will, what are your thoughts on that?
That is an excellent question.
Okay.
I was just laughing because when you started asking me and you were like being a bit long-winded, I thought that you were going to ask me, what is your favorite fruit? Which is my favorite question.
Okay. What is your favorite fruit? Since we can't just bring that up and not resolve it.
What is my favorite fruit?
Yeah. Answer that one first and then my real question.
Well, that is going to take another 40 minutes because it's a deeply...
Okay, never mind. I don't care that much.
It's a deeply profound question.
I like grapefruit.
Really?
Yeah, it's a controversial pick. I was talking to someone about my bad diet, and I said the only thing that I ate in terms of like fruit consistently was grapefruit, and she gave me a horrified look. This being someone who was trying to get me to eat more fruit and vegetable. And then later on in the conversation, she recommended like a medicine, like a vitamin thing. And I was like, does it taste bad? Because I'm not good with things that taste bad. And she said, well, if you can handle grapefruit, you can handle this. Which has stuck with me. My wife hates grapefruit. She thinks it tastes like a tin can. And it's nice. I don't get the hate.
Are you the one in the story who wants to get more into fruit and vegetables?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to, but
So-
I'm told to.
In the same breath, not only did you admit that your favorite fruit is grapefruit, but also that you are a fruit and vegetable hater. This is the end of our partnership.
Yeah.
I'd have to go... It just depends on, like, if it's fruit that we have every day or... like if I could go out of my way to have like exotic fruit, because the top fruit that I could have every day, I'd say would be cherries.
Okay.
But I'd also throw banana in there
Sure.
because I literally have bananas every single day.
Oh.
I also am a big fan of mango.
Okay.
So there's that. Anyway,
Sly Cooper.
ancestors.
Yes.
And let's not get into favorite vegetables. Anyway,
There is no such thing. Yeah.
my favorite fruit is Dr. M. Okay.
Yay.
Anyway, okay.
Making a note of that one as well. Muttered that quietly, but we're just gonna make sure.
I'll just say there's many ideas in the can,
Yes.
in the Pillsbury dough can. Because, you know, when you try to open the dough, it just pops.
Right, yes.
So,
Would you like to hear my answer to my own question? Would that help or would that make that worse?
I don't have like a fully realized answer, but I do have like concepts of ideas of an answer.
Oh, yeah,
So,
like, same
I
here.
don't mind going first.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I have several notes. Firstly, I love the idea of more contemporary ancestors.
Yes.
I love the idea also, just building on that, of how Sly 1 had minor ancestors that we never heard of after.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
Sly 2 and Sly 3 made it seem as if, like, the ones that we had images of were, like, exclusively them, but that's not true.
Yeah. Bruce O'Coop, Sally Cooper, Suzanne Cooper, Karen Koopajiwa. A lot of them were named after devs, which is really cute.
Even the idea of Connor having to do with computers and stuff, like, for me is like, history doesn't end, and especially lineages don't end with, like, ancient history. Like, there's Otto von Cooper, Connor, like, we just needed a few more contemporary ancestors, because I feel like once we get to Thaddeus,
It jumps, yeah.
it jumps, exactly. So I would love like more of those. That being said, and I'm a bit biased because of my cultural background, I would love a Spartan Cooper.
Cool.
Either a Spartan Cooper or something that has to do with like ancient Greece, like
Ancient Greece is one of the kind of notable absences, because
Yeah.
normally if you're going to do a cartoon trek through time, Greece is one of the places you hit up, and there wasn't a Grecian Cooper mentioned.
No.
It's totally true what you're saying about, like, that's one of the things that's so kind of fanfic friendly about it. If you're from any country on Earth, and you are, because that's how that works,
You are?
there's an inbuilt, what does the Cooper from my country look like?
Yeah.
And that's like half covered for Ireland, because they have Sloch McCooper.
Yeah.
Which there's definite overlap between Scotland and Ireland, especially going back to those like ancient Celtic times. One of my notes is, if you did a different Irish ancestor, the 1920s was an interesting time on the island. And in a lot of places, actually. So that kind of gels with what you're saying about 20th century Coopers. Yeah.
Contemporary. Yeah. Sorry, I just laughed because when you said that, like, if you're into Sly, like, you automatically think, like, oh, what would the ancestor from my country look like? Well, I have bad news for Australians.
Oh, no. No. We can do better. We could have some kind of Steve Irwin-ass Cooper who has a
I
hat.
would love to.
A hat that's like Sly's, but it's got the corks on it. Something like that. And special Cooper power was wrestling
Alligators.
the feral alligators. Yeah.
On that note, I do remember a while back I made a post. It was more of a rant about Thieves in Time on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I mentioned what were the Italian crow mask doctors called?
Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor, a Plague Doctor Cooper.
Fuck yes. I am very pro Plague Doctor. I love those guys.
I would love a Plague Doctor Cooper. Yes.
If Plague Doctors have 1,000 fans, I am one of them. If Plague Doctors have 1 fan, it is me. If Plague Doctors have 0 fans, I am dead. I love that design.
The Plague Doctor Grapefruit McSweeney fandom is dying.
Uh-huh.
Please leave a like.
I can picture the Plague Doctor being like the Bentley of Cooper outfit of that era. Like being the learned man of science or woman of science of like a 1400s Cooper gang.
That's interesting because the way you just phrased it makes it seem, in my head at least, that the rest of the ancestors were stupid.
Yeah, you've met Sly.
And, you know, Coopers, like, factually do prioritize,
Anything
like,
else.
agility and, like, physical prowess over,
Yeah.
yeah, and ego. Definitely that. But other than that, other than those ideas, other than a contemporary and ancient Greek, either Spartan warrior or philosopher,
Yeah.
to tackle the stupidity epidemic, and a plague doctor. Also, women.
More women. Jesus Christ, more women. Holy shit, more women.
Please, give us something.
Half of them have had to have been women. That's how that goes.
Can I just say right now, I hate Henriette with long hair.
Yeah. Henriette's butch. Henriette's got a bit of butch energy.
Yeah.
She's a fucking pirate. I snuck in my notes about Ireland. The other thing, and again, it's kind of a general concept like what you have, it would be interesting to see Coopers in a wartime setting. So I took one of the names from Sly One, Suzanne Cooper, and used her in a fanfic I wrote about Tennessee Kid Cooper, where she was his aunt, and she's the one who passes the book on to him. And because he's active in like the late 1800s, that meant she was active in like the mid to early 1800s. So I figured she was around for the American Civil War. And like she took a stance in the American Civil War. Per the thing about stealing from bad people, she interrupted the supply lines of the Confederate Army.
Okay.
Armies have massive use for thieves and spies and saboteurs. Obviously, Coopers don't necessarily play well with the idea of, a chain of command. But I think if a Cooper was in a wartime setting, they would size things up, they would figure out who are the bad guys and who are the less bad guys, and they would just start fucking shit up on their own schedule. This is proving to be a not great episode to put a shout out in, but I wanted to shout out Moonstone, who is one of our Tumblr friends. Her concept for the Cooper before Connor is Sly's grandmother, who is Elise Cooper from Paris and was active in the French resistance during World War II. And that's a cool idea.
Agree.
So, like, there are various settings you could pick, but I would like to see... I just think it would be cool to see a Cooper that's, like, working through and operating within a wartime context.
Do you not reckon Otto was in very World War II?
He was probably in some kind of war, yeah. That's another avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I lost it at... This is probably a bad episode to shout out someone on. When is it a good one?
That's true. That's true.
Apologies in advance. Are we ready to move on?
I think so. What is your second game / prompt?
My second game / prompt, but not really, is... So we constantly praise the series for its writing, specifically its dialogue.
Okay.
Not to get all BuzzFeed quizzes, especially after seeing how the last game turned out. But I thought it'd be fun if I read out some lines of dialogue and you had to guess who said them and in which episode.
Okay, I think I can do this. We'll give it a shot. I have a good memory for dialogue, if nothing else.
I have to say, though, this was, truly, insanely difficult because for as iconic as the dialogue is and as much praise as we give it, you can easily tell who says what.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the sign of a good writing. It's a good ensemble and everyone has their own voice.
But also, for this game specifically, it was difficult because if it's not, the Contessa talking about something like brains and psychology, it's, describing what's going on. So I was like... Okay, so I have 5 here.
Okay.
And it's character and mission, but if you can guess one...
That's something.
Yeah. Okay, first one. We need to put the smack down on these bad dudes for justice. That's
Bentley telling Murray. But when was it? Was that in
You're quick.
Sly 2 Paris?
No.
Okay. You need to put the smackdown on these bad
But
dudes.
you are correct on Bentley.
Yeah.
And the context.
It's Bentley trying to appeal to Murray.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of more of a Sly 3 interaction. Was it in Australia?
Yeah.
Was it in the mines?
No. It's a mission that involves...
Big rig? Big truck?
No, it's a mission that involves a lot of like Mari doing what Bentley describes.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time we subtracted a few minors from the equation.
You know I don't understand that math talk.
We need to put the smackdown on these bad dudes for justice.
Righteous.
But that was impressive.
Thank you, yes. I think I'm gonna get the characters pretty consistently. The missions, not so much.
I have the episode written down. I misspoke. I said missions. I have the episodes written down. So,
Okay.
second one is, and apologies in advance, by the way, to all of our listeners. Like, we know by this point that Snap does like an excellent job with voices. I have a tough time articulating my own words as it is. I'm not gonna do voices.
I was trying to do an impression of someone else's cartoon voice.
The second quote is sweet strawberry shortcake. Sweet strawberry shortcake.
That is Murray. Sweet strawberry shortcake.
See?
That's... Oh, when does he say it, though? Is that when he sees the Mask of Dark Earth?
No.
Okay. That would have been 2 Australias in a row, I guess. I feel like that was maybe in Sly 2, but again, it kind of has Sly 3 energy.
What I'll say is that they really, really... I think the writing definitely reached its peak in the third game. In terms of dialogue.
Okay. Yeah, the last time I replayed Sly 3, I was like, these interactions are so good.
Because they got comfortable writing the characters, so they were like,
Yeah.
we can play around. Like the pasta thing would never be in Sly 2.
There was a little bit, it's a little moment, but it's so good. The mission where they fuck up the crane in Australia. They head out to go do it, and Sly is like,
We're going after some radioactive oil, right?
I don't know. I can never pay attention during those slideshows. Don't tell Bentley.
Wouldn't dream of it.
and then the mission starts on that note. Like, that's a relatively small thing, but it was really funny to me last time I played it through. Anyway, sweet strawberry shortcake. Sweet strawberry... Was it when he's fighting mutants?
No.
At the end of Sly... Okay.
I'll give you a hint.
Please.
Something goes majorly wrong.
Is what when he fucks up Sow's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. He breaks the treasure temple.
The outrage! Stone Dragon of the Temple, I summon you from rock to flesh. Aid the family Tao in this hour of need! Sweet strawberry shortcake!
And he yells, sweet strawberry shortcake. What a beautiful man.
Okay. The next three are a bit, like, more difficult.
Okay.
So quote number 3 is, remember, refreshments are for sale. If you go, get me a licorice. Red kind.
Is that Dimitri's color commentary during the Aces flight tournament?
Wow. Wow. I can't believe you couldn't guess McSweeney and you're doing this, like, right off the bat.
My memory of this series is very, like, auditory. So, like I said, we never heard McSweeney say dick about fuck. He was narrated about. In this case, it was like, I don't remember this line exactly. So it must not have been a mandatory line of dialogue, which most lines of dialogue are in the series. Like, you have to do all the missions, and most of the dialogue are in the missions. And from there, it sounded like a thing Dimitri would say in that context.
That is impressive. Okay, quote number 4.
Okay.
Very short, very difficult. I'll improve, I swear.
Richards.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Sorry, Richards, but I don't tolerate poor performance. You should have changed the security code from 1, 2, 3 after you installed the new system.
I'll improve, I swear.
No, you'll die. Any second now.
Dr. M, you have poisoned me. I keep almost calling him Michael because of you. Dr. M poisons his beloved employee Richards at the start of Sly 3 because he didn't... You failed to change the passcode from 1, 2, 3 when you set up the system. I just like doing that voice. I'll do the rest of the podcast in that voice if you don't stop me.
I love, by the way, how in the transcript, when he says this and then he's dying a bit after, it says in brackets, Richard begins to gag. Well, yes, I was gagged too.
Begins to gag.
Oh, I've been gagging for a long while.
Yeah, I noticed. Hit me with that fifth and final one.
Okay, fifth quote. A real fighter knows when to strike and when to back off, like whether or not to have one more pepperoni and chocolate chip burrito.
This is Murray training Bob during the 80s themed montage mission of Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. You can tell because it's something Murray would say, but stupid.
Brackets, Aris begins to gag.
Yeah, you...
Because see...
Hey guys, it's me Murray from Thieves in Time, and yes, I totally said that dumb shit.
You had quite... Your face lit up, I suppose, is the way to put it.
Because, see, I was thinking, like, big shot shit mentality. Like, oh, these are, like, difficult. There's no way to find them. And then, for my last one, I'm just gonna be, like, extra gaggy and put one from Thieves in Time because there's no way he's gonna remember that. Because he refuses to play it. And not only did you find the other ones, like, immediately, but also... You know which part of Thieves in Time the black sheep quote is from.
Yeah. That mission was real. I've talked before about Phantom menacing through Thieves in Time, being like, this is great, this is fun, this is quirky. And that was the quirkiest, zaniest part. It was like, oh, it's a reference to the 80s. I get it. Yeah. I was kind of braced in the last game for you to bring in Thieves in Time in some respect. So that as well. I hope I've proved that I've clawed back some credibility now after not remembering that McSweeney exists.
You've definitely clawed back credibility by exposing yourself as a secret Thieves in Time fan.
No.
Which I've been attempting my hardest to do until now.
Yeah.
But now you've
every episode.
But now you've slipped. I mean, who wouldn't choose fuck for toothpick? I almost had you there. Or even Mary.
No.
But you knew I'd put 2 and 2 together and you said kill toothpick last episode.
Kill toothpick.
But now the mask has slipped.
Remember what I was saying last episode about how I traded in a bunch of old video games? Mostly it was Pokemon, but it was like some other stuff too.
Please don't say you traded Thieves in Time.
I was looking at what else I have to trade in, and Thieves in Time is like $20, so it's on notice. I keep it under my television with the other games as like a monument, a testament to years gone by, to mistakes made. But if I decide that monument is no longer worth $20 that I can spend on, I don't know, the new Spider-Man game, I know what to do.
No matter how hard you try, you can never erase history.
That's what Cyril the Paradox learned from Thieves in Time. Anyway, it's time for me to say something. This is a repurposed...
I thought you were going to say this is my favorite vegetable.
No, I don't have one. Vegetables are bad, and they're yucky, and I don't like them in my mouth, and they taste bitter and bad, and I like meat, and I like chocolate. This is a repurposed Tumblr post that I thought was very promising, but but I never fully cracked.
Yes.
So Aris is going to help me figure it out right now, live on air.
By all means.
Both of us very much enjoy the Ace Attorney series, wherein lawyers are made more effective by being assigned via fate and happenstance a teenage girl who follows them around. It's like a kind of fucked up internship thing. I have been trying to come up with a teenage girl to follow around each of the major Sly Cooper characters.
Okay.
Here's where what I have so far. I'm open to hearing your suggestions, but like I said, I thought I had a good kind of whack at this already.
Is it Penelope?
Limiting my... yeah. They're all followed around by one teenage girl named Penelope. Moving on. No. Limiting myself to one Ace Attorney teenage girl out of the very high quality selection of teenage girls in Ace Attorney. The thing about Miles Edgeworth Investigations 1 is that it's a little bit flawed as an experience. Like, everyone who plays it kind of agrees the pacing is a bit off. But it introduces Kay Faraday, who is Maya Fey from Ace Attorney if she was also Sly Cooper from Sly Cooper. Kay Faraday's thing is that her dad was a noble thief who was tragically murdered, and now she must carry on his legacy by also being a noble thief. It's great. It's entirely up my alley. The one thing that's a bit mean about the whole situation is that she ends up in the orbit of Miles Edgeworth, and Edgeworth's like, no, don't break the law, Kay. Committing crime is bad, Kay. And that's not what... She's 17. She's at an impressionable age. She needs encouragement. So, obviously, Sly gets Kay Faraday. Sly teaches Kay Faraday... Because the other thing is that Kay actually isn't that good as a thief. Because her dad got killed, and he didn't leave behind a book full of tips and tricks about being a thief. So she's just trying to figure it out by herself. She could use some guidance. She has some of the basics down, like making a dramatic entrance. Like, she leaps down through a window and it looks cool, and then she's like, oh, I can't climb back up out of it, though. So I think that would be very beneficial. And I think Sly would be really down for that. By the time of Sly 3, he's ready to move into the mentorship role and help someone else on their thieving journey.
Can I ask, who gets Iris Wilson?
No one. I mean, I guess we can fob her off on Bentley. She's not even a teenage girl. She is a prepubescent girl. She is a child. I'm not throwing children around. These are teenage girls. It's different.
I'm sorry, I was also stuck on the, analogy of Sly and Kay's upbringing.
Yeah.
And their dad's dying, and I was thinking, well, in this analogy, Clockwork equates to Callisto U.
Yeah.
Except Clockwork doesn't serve cunt at all.
It would be so good if Clockwork just pulled out a regular gun. Like a small little pistol.
Even if Clockwork pulled out a gun, he could never serve.
Her outfit is incredible.
The way Callisto U.
The earrings.
The earrings.
It's quite a choice. Murray. I got the idea for Murray from one of your shitposts where you edited an image of Murray so that he looked like Susie from Deltarune. And he... Obviously, what you were doing there was very, visceral and kind of surface level. But I thought about it after seeing that shitpost, and I thought, here's the thing. Susie loves violence. She loves cool shit like skateboards and monster trucks. But it is heavily implied that she is not eating enough. She's not eating well. She will eat, way more than the other two, as though she is not, getting enough food at home. So I think how this would go is Murray would kind of lure her in with, yeah, I can teach you wrestling moves. And then he would trick her into eating 3 full meals a day.
That works.
Yeah. And also,
And also they're both pink.
They're both pink. And as a, isolated teenage girl, I think Susie could stand to have someone to talk to about her feelings, and Murray is good on that. Bentley, was a harder prospect. I had a few options aside from Iris Wilson. From Crash Bandicoot, there is Coco, and from Jack and Daxter.
For Bentley?
Yeah. Did you object?
Absolutely.
Explain why.
Bentley is not fun-loving. Coco has her own missions where, like, doesn't she ride a tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd never catch Bentley, like, either approving that or, like, being okay with that. Bentley's a nerd. He needs, like...
I can't be near the tiger. The dander sets off my allergies.
Bentley, go gag on, like, a can of tomatoes.
Okay.
Or whatever.
You've made a compelling case for maybe Penelope can get Coco. And the easy answer I thought for Bentley was Kira from Jack and Daxter. They share an interest in engineering and, like, vehicle manufacture. But here's the thing about Kira. She would be a pleasure to have in class. I don't think she would give Bentley any trouble. Bentley would say, do this, and Kira would be like, okay. There wouldn't be any friction in that relationship. And I don't think Bentley has the temperament to be, like, a patient teacher, necessarily, after being kind of saddled in the mission control role for so long. So that all makes sense to me.
My gut reaction was no.
Okay.
But upon reflection, I will say that there is connective tissue. As you may know very well at this point, I am a certified
Bentley hater.
Absolutely. But what our listeners may not know is that I'm also a certified Kira hater.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because she's annoying.
No.
And if Daxter was working towards saving the world, then give the fucking rat a kiss, bitch. Like,
I am flabbergasted.
give him a fucking kiss.
I'm flabbergasted you have the capacity to find anyone annoying when they are standing next to Daxter.
I love Daxter.
Daxter sets an extremely high bar for who is the most annoying character in this game.
I love Daxter.
Why? Fuck everything else.
Because he appears in Thieves in Time.
Throw out everything else. Throw out my as yet unanswered teenage girl query. Fuck your games. This is... We're spending the next hour arguing about how much Daxter fucking sucks, which is a lot.
Welcome to the 1 year anniversary episode. 1 hour spent trying to guess McSweeney. Second hour explaining my love for Daxter.
Daxter sucks!
What?
Yes!
I love Daxter. He's like so funny.
He's not.
And it's not even one of those things where like stupid people who would like label themselves as stoners would be like, oh my god, Rick and Morty is hilarious. And it's not. It's more so like he's just like funny. Like he gets annoyed very easily. Like he makes dying in a game so much fun. Yeah, if you were turned into a rat, you'd want to turn back too.
Daxter would fit in like a glove to Rick and Morty, now that you mention it. They could have an episode of Rick and Morty where they're just joined by Daxter from Jack and Daxter, and like they wouldn't miss a beat.
I just love him. I think he's cool. I think he's funny. I like his design. I love that he like lost all his clothes in the vat of acid but retained his goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he sucks.
Yeah, so fuck Kira.
He's okay in the first one because Jack...
Kira definitely like... Kira definitely supports AI.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Excuse me for being crass and feel free to bleep this out.
Writing it down. Go say what you're gonna say.
Kira 100%
Yeah, I mean, no.
Leave that whole thing out.
Yeah.
Not just the words.
Yeah, no,
from
I will.
Start to finish.
Don't worry.
Plus, who has green streaks in their bob?
Kira is a perfectly nice young woman whose only crime is that the art team for some reason, gave her a waist the size of a pea
Oh,
and
yeah, we're not getting into that.
hips the size of 2 watermelons. Like, what? This character is like 14. What are you doing?
Well, that's
Aside from that, I have no truck with Kira. I have no problem with Kira. Kira's nice. She's got a squeaky little voice, which is cute. She does machines. Nothing wrong with Kira. Daxter could go fuck himself.
you know what? Maybe I do hate women after all.
God. The thing about Daxter, and we'll call it here, but the thing about Daxter is that he makes sense in the first game because Jack doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Jack will go in and Samos and Kira will explain what to do, and Daxter will react to it instead of Jack. And I will say that I like Samos's and Daxter's dynamic where they just fucking scream at each other. That is surprisingly funny. In Jack 2, after 2 years of horrific government experimentation, Jack gains the ability to speak. And at no point in Jack 2 is there a cutscene that is improved by the presence of Daxter. Because Jack will walk into
But
a...
literally, even you've admitted that Jack 2 sucks.
Yes, and this is one of the reasons. You walk into the cyberpunk...
That is not one of the reasons.
You walk into the cyberpunk bar or the underground resistance hideout, and there's a discussion about we have to cut off the Baron's supply lines, or the metalheads are claiming another part of the city, or whatever else. And during this, like, tense, growly scene where Jack is talking to the local crime lord or the head of the resistance movement, Daxter will just be there and be like, hey, have you ever noticed that he's fat? The crime guy is fat. Look, he's fat and he's also stinky. Have you noticed how fat he is? I'm Daxter.
Literally.
Like,
Thieves in Time Riders every day.
yeah. What if all of the Thieves in Time energy was just condensed into one character who followed around the main character into every room? And the Jack is trying to live through a cyberpunk dystopia, and Daxter is like, I like women and fucking even though I'm a rat now. That lady has boobs.
Is anyone gonna match his freak?
No. Anyway.
I would.
God, we've gotten so off track. Let's briefly recap, if you don't mind.
By all means.
Sly mentors Kay Faraday from Ace Attorney Investigations. Murray mentors Susie Deltarune. Bentley and Kira can go where Aris doesn't have to look at either one of them.
Or has to look at them suffer.
Yeah. Coco
Call
and
me Jigsaw.
Coco and Penelope, sure. Bonus, as a kind of fucked up dark internship, Neela would be a bad influence on Catra from the more recent She-Ra. It's a couple years ago now, but the Netflix version of She-Ra. Catra is also an untrustworthy athletic cat girl, but she like wobbles back and forth between like maybe she'll get a redemption arc, maybe she'll give in to her darker impulses. And Neela would be like, here's a knife, give in to those dark impulses, girl. I think that would be fun. It would be bad, but it would be fun. The question is, the reason why this Tumblr post remains in my drafts, along with 100 others, I could not think of a single candidate for Carmelita Fox. I've said before that I want to see Carmelita in a mentorship position. I want to see her passing on her experience to someone else, but I don't know who.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was hoping you might have a suggestion or two, but I haven't cracked it.
As we've established in our Slide 2 coverage, Carmelita doesn't have a life.
No.
Carmelita is like Love My Girl down,
Of course, yes.
but she's a solo act.
Yeah.
Like, she's horrible with people.
Yeah.
Just leave her alone. So, like, she'd micromanage the fuck out of anyone that even dared to step into that role.
Yeah. And she would not ever be like, that was a good job, because she would assume if you did a good job, you knew it was a good job. And if you do a bad job, obviously she has to tell you you're doing a bad job and get you to stop. But if you're doing a good job...
I don't think you'd ever be able to do a good job with her.
But if you did do a good job, she would be like, great. Like, there would be no fostering. There would be no encouraging. She would just be like, keep doing that.
Yeah.
That you are doing an adequate job now. Do not do worse than how you are currently doing. She's great. I love her.
My instinct is telling me, like, reach into the Cartoon Network bin.
Okay.
For Carmelita. But even so, like, who would it be? Like, Mandy from Grim Adventures?
No, she would remind Carmelita too much of Neela, I think. There's too much overlap there.
Ben 10's cousin, Gwen.
We could do worse. Oh, speaking of Gwens, Stacy. Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman.
Oh.
Because her dad is a senior cop. So she could be like, yeah, I'm just doing an internship. I'm learning more about police work. And then secretly, she's getting the inside scoop on how Interpol operates.
Like a Barbara Gordon type of situ.
Yeah. And then Carmelita's like, how does Spider-Woman know exactly how we operate now? And Gwen's like, I don't know, boss. I'm just the intern.
Well, girl. What a quinky dink.
Yeah. All right.
Who's our pick for Dimitri?
Oh, gosh. What?
Maybe we shouldn't go there.
I did not have someone for Dimitri.
I think it's for the best.
Yeah.
Moving on to my penultimate segment, which...
Yes.
Circling back to your last one, there was a bit of overlap with mine. That's why I was so gagged at the beginning.
Okay.
But I said, I feel like it's a quintessential nerdy staple / rite of passage to come up with a scenario that involves one's favorite characters coming together.
Yes!
Like a crossover, basically.
I live for a good crossover.
Like PS Heroes? PS Move Heroes?
No. I said a good crossover.
Oh, so Daxter and Thieves in Time. Okay. So, choose... Sorry, for some reason, as soon as I said Daxter and Thieves in Time, I was thinking, like... As soon as I immediately thought about what if there was a Grizz DLC where you have to match the beats to the rap song.
Oh, it's like the world's worst rhythm game. Brr, 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 brr.
The Grizz's big rap adventure.
Can you please proceed with your question?
Fuck the question. Pitch your Thieves in Time DLC.
Dark Sly.
I'm half not kidding.
From the... You remember there was the cut? There was a different version of the game, and some concept art floated, and there was like a cool Dark Knight version of Sly. That version of Sly murdering everyone who appeared in Thieves in Time.
Oh, especially and including Miss Decibel.
Not especially Miss Decibel, but including Miss Decibel, yes.
Why? You
trying to...
You spewed some pretty fatphobic comments before. Anyway, back to the question. Mine would be a Grizz rhythm game, let's just say that.
Yeah, you did. It was bad.
Miss Decibel could join in.
Please move on. Please let me out of this zone. This is torture.
So, choose another piece of media. Could be a film, a video game, etc. And pitch your idea for a crossover with Sly Cooper. And if you want time to think, I have mine typed out.
Yeah, the problem for me isn't so much coming up with one, but kind of sorting through the pile of what I've already made for a good answer.
Right.
So you go ahead first.
Zootopia.
Yeah.
Zootopia abortion comic.
Yeah.
Zootopia abortion comic, but it's Bentley instead of Judy.
Yeah. Murray got Bentley pregnant.
Okay, not to be entirely predictable, but I had made this post on Tumblr.
I just
like a long.
I just want to briefly say, as always, I really hope no one who ever worked on the Sly Cooper series in any capacity ever listens to this podcast.
Listens to the
and
podcast.
is ever exposed to phrases like Murray got Bentley pregnant.
The Black Baron's. Oh.
That too. Any of it. Any of it.
Alternative universe where Sanzaru putting out Thieves in Time was such a huge failure that they ended up making games for like browser games for like websites like Y8.
Okay.
Do you remember? I'm losing it.
You are. I'm watching you lose it.
Do you remember Y8?
I don't.
Y8 was like the online browser mecca for like browser games, like dress ups, everything. It was just Y8.
It's still free online games for all ages.
Yeah.
Start playing today.
You don't know this?
No,
This was like childhood staple.
I used Congregate, which was spelled with a K. That was my to-go-to. And I also used Addicting Games, which was kind of a shitty website.
You get the point.
Oh yeah, now that I'm looking at Y8, I can see exactly what the vibe is.
Okay, so alternative universe where Sanzaru putting out Thieves in Time was such a failure that they resorted to making browser games, and one of them is Mary has to help Bentley give birth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's not my crossover.
I'm glad.
I had made this post on Tumblr years ago at this point where it was like a crossover between Ace Attorney and Sly Cooper.
Yes.
So, in an alternate universe, prior to the events of Sly 3, Dr. Michael underwent an anger management program.
Oh, okay.
And learned to control his nerves by finally coming out of the closet.
Hooray!
So, when the gang infiltrates Cane Island, Michael doesn't opt to use violence, but instead sues them for trespassing on private property. So, due to their notorious reputation, no one is willing to defend the gang in court.
Mm-hmm.
In comes Phoenix Wright, an up-and-coming porcupine defense attorney.
Porcupine. Interesting. Pinning that.
With his feline assistant, Meow Ya Fei.
Yay! Meow ya!
Phoenix is tasked with gaining the gang's trust in order to face Dr. Michael in court, who has enlisted the help of legendary prosecutor Mandrill von Karma.
I like that.
Will the gang win the case?
Okay.
Will Carmelita manage to cooperate with the canine detective Dick Popshoe and gather enough evidence?
Yeah.
How many burgers will Mari and Meowya devour by the end of the trial?
Fuck yes.
Will Dr. Michael try to have his way with his fellow Mandrill von Karma? Baboonery.
You said that so confidently.
Will Meowya Fei be forced to channel the spirit of Le Fouille in order for him to take the stand as a key witness?
When you said about Meowya channeling dead characters, I was like, oh my god, that's right. She could channel Connor or Sly's mother. And Le Fouille. I guess she could do Le Fouille.
No. It's only for court purposes. And once it's all done and dusted, will Penelope ask Phoenix to take her case when she sues Bentley for workplace harassment?
Good. Yeah.
Well, I hope you like my pitch, because it was either this or Cooking Mama.
I have thought of my own Ace Attorney crossover.
Yes.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the animals of the Ace Attorney cast. Because Maya, yes, Cat Maya, yes. I don't think there is any debate that Gumshoe is a dog.
Yeah.
Gumshoe is like a brown lab mutt.
Yeah.
That is big and stupid and loving.
Yeah.
Edgeworth is also a cat. There's much fan art that proves this.
Okay.
Phoenix has troubled me for some time. I figured that he should be a bird on account of how he is named Phoenix.
Right.
I eventually kind of landed on like a crow or a blackbird or something, and the hair is just like some feathers that are mussed up. Porcupine kind of works though. They do often call him that, don't they? My pitch was Sly breaks into a museum of natural history, and the curator, Dr. Ann Nubis, is struck by the Cooper cane and falls off the roof to her death. But Sly insists that he's a thief, not a murderer. Don't look into what he and his gang did with that crocodile. It's fine. In this continuity, Sly has like a strict no-killing thing. So, when he sees in the paper that he has been accused of murder, he turns himself in to demand a fair trial for this specific crime.
As he should.
At which point he will break out again. Exactly.
Yes.
Meowia is like, Phoenix, this is so cool. We have to be the ones to defend him. He's like a cool Master Thief guy. And Phoenix is like, didn't we already do a Master Thief guy? Whatever.
Who wasn't cool.
Who wasn't cool? And Maya's like, yeah, that's why we gotta try this guy. Maybe he'll be better. On the first day of the trial, Gumshoe, as always, is giving testimony. He's the first one to give testimony about Anubis' death. And Maya and Phoenix notice that Edgeworth is kind of going easy on him. Like, he's making mistakes on the stand, but Edgeworth isn't calling him up on them. And they soon realize that it's because a scary Interpol fox has kind of muscled her way into the local police precinct, and she is not very patient whenever Gumshoe makes a mistake. So Edgeworth doesn't need to lift a finger anymore, because that mean old Inspector Fox is very quick to bully Gumshoe anytime he does anything slightly wrong. She's in two minds about it all, because she does want Sly in prison, but she does buy that he didn't kill anyone. Like, she's the expert character witness on the Cooper gang's crimes. She's like, he hasn't killed anyone until now. I don't see why he would kill this one museum curator, but also he is a criminal, so who knows. Bentley and Murray are running around in the background trying to get the evidence that Phoenix needs. On the third day of the trial, as they're running out of time, Edgeworth is like, luckily I have an associate who would know something about this.
Oh.
That's right. Kay Faraday's back in this. During the trial, Kay and Bentley and Murray work together to get the decisive piece of evidence that they all need. And then if this was made, it would be in like Phoenix Wright style for most of it, and then it would switch to investigation style for that one bit.
Love it.
So yeah, as you can tell, I've thought about this before.
Would Kay be a raccoon or a magpie?
Oh, she has to be a raven.
That's true.
Like, she's got a whole motif going.
That's true. But who killed the thing? Who killed the woman?
She was killed by her assistant who wanted her out of the way. Like, this would require a cast of characters in the museum.
Suspects.
Exactly.
What are the other animals, bestie?
I was thinking, like, the culprit would be a magpie lady. She works at a museum because there's shiny things there. And then there'd be a bat head of security and, like, a zebra archivist. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to kind of give you a quick smorgasbord of other crossovers, because, again, I just generate this. If Sly was in the Last Airbender universe, he would be an airbender, because he is very three-dimensional in his thinking. I thought of a sci-fi setting where basically the Cooper gang are doing Star Wars, in that they're a bunch of scruffy ruffians in a shitty van-type spaceship that looks like shit but goes very fast, while Carmelita and Neela and Penelope and maybe Judy Hopps are in a nice big Star Trek spaceship trying to chase them down. Obviously, I wrote an entire fucking trilogy that crossed over Sly Cooper with Zootopia, and also the Star Fox guys were there. Wolf O'Donnell from Star Fox is a Sly Cooper villain. Like, you could just put him in there, no problem. Right now I'm working on what if Sly Cooper was Spider-Man. I'm writing that as we speak.
Where would the webs come out from?
I'm working on the web situation, but I think he would have a grappling hook that is the cane. He has a little golden hook mounted on one wrist, and that's how he does most of the swinging.
Oh, so he still has the cane.
Yeah, like it's a fusion thing. He's Spider-Man, but he's also Sly Cooper.
You know, you've just birthed an idea.
Okay.
You've just birthed an answer for a question you asked in a previous episode.
Okay.
Which is what animal I would like to see as a villain. And because you said Sly as Spider-Man, I was thinking, what if we had like airborne mammals like Spider Monkey?
Oh.
Or a flying squirrel.
Yeah, sugar glider. Cool.
Anyway.
All right. I could talk about this topic for a very long time, so let's move on.
Do you have a segment left?
I have one segment left.
By all means.
We'll try to be brief about it, but both of us agree that notable thing that this series doesn't have...
Women. Oh.
Compared to how Ratchet & Clank had a PSP game about Secret Agent Clank. There was a Jack PSP spin-off about that detestable rodent, that hateful little beast, got his own game.
And he was an exterminator.
What a waste of good polygons.
I played that game.
I'm good. There should be a Carmelita spin-off game.
Oh.
If this series was more of a thing overall, there should be a Carmelita spin-off game. Here are my thoughts on a Carmelita spin-off game.
Yes, please.
I think it would be fundamentally, like, in terms of moving around the world, it wouldn't be too different. Because she is fun to play as in Sly 3. But you would need to have new mechanics like investigating crime scenes or whatever it is police do in this universe when she isn't just shooting Sly. Obviously, the combat needs to be scaled appropriately because, as we know, she is just canonically tougher than anyone in the gang. So she would need to be facing down a lot of bad guys at once for it to matter at all. It is an opportunity to introduce a supporting cast. So, like, you could show Barkley for the first time on screen, but you could also introduce new characters, like an assistant, or a tech person, or like a... Winthorpe, if you hate yourself.
McSweeney,
if you have memory issues. Like a rookie officer that she has to mentor against her will, but they've come to have an understanding over time. Obviously, it would inevitably transpire that there is some kind of corruption at Interpol, because there always is. This is the organization that hired the Contessa. The only concept that I have for a villain is, I think I mentioned before that Sly Cooper is a world of supervillains, but it's unclear if there are any superheroes. I think it would be cool if one of the antagonists is an officially sanctioned superhero who works with Interpol, who is a gigantic piece of shit. And he and Carmelita don't get on well, like on a personal level, but it slowly becomes clear that like he's in on whatever inevitable corruption conspiracy is at Interpol. And Carmelita has to fight someone with legit superpowers, and she wins anyway because she is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have.
So what's the question?
Oh, the prompt was just, wouldn't it be cool if Carmelita had her own game?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on what that would look like?
I love how the topics we discussed today have just like opened up so many avenues, because while you were speaking, I was thinking like, we haven't seen Carmelita in her capacity as an investigator at all.
No, we're just told that she's able to figure out where Sly is going, but we only get Sly's perspective on that, which is that he shows up somewhere, and about half an hour later, Carmelita shows up there too, and he's like, oh, she did it again. But like, we don't know what her process is.
In the first game, she's not shown in the best light as an investigator, because she's like,
no.
Oh, you can't fool me, Sly. This evil lair in a volcano definitely belongs to you. Like,
lair?
Girl, he's not even wearing fucking pants. Like, Come on now.
This is a perfectly normal, rural, mountainous firework factory. And if any of the villages nearby are having difficulties, that's an issue for the local authorities to deal with, of which there are none.
But then she kind of like is just there.
Yeah.
And then she just busts the guy at the end. So it's like, great. Anyway,
Yeah.
100% Carmelita spin-off game. I don't want it to take place in the present of the timeline. I'd love it to be like in the past.
Okay.
Because then you'd also have an excuse to like scale down her power set.
That's a good point, yeah. You could do like the beloved movie Solo about Han Solo, and you could do like a whole thing where she gets her shock pistol. And it's important. Aris is making a face at me, and it's deserved.
I was more so thinking like Silence of the Lamb, like training
Okay.
montage. Maybe I shouldn't say training montage after that quote I incorporated in my second segment.
It's like eating pizza with chocolate on it. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. It's because he's fat.
It's the Fairly Odd Parents intro.
God.
Because Murray's fat and he loves to eat. and
Yeah, that's his defining character trait.
and get Bentley pregnant.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, I would also love if the Cooper gang did not appear in this game at all.
Yeah.
Or have like a few missions where you have to chase Sly, but that would be it.
Carmelita is so wrapped up in being a foil to Sly, but she is a cool fox lady who kicks criminals. Like, that's a concept.
You mean it's literally her personality?
Yeah. You can do stuff with her that does not have to involve Sly.
It's more so the fact that like when Sly and the gang are operating in a city, we are playing as them. So of course we know the internal workings of the safe house and stuff. But if you think about it, like they never got busted into the safe house apart from like Sao. So from an authentic point of view of Carmelita, like if you're truly stepping into her shoes, her experience with the gang is just seeing Sly pop up while she's operating. Like she doesn't even know where they're based.
No.
She's not in dialogue with them apart from like with Sly. So it would be like the authentic Carmelita experience and perspective if she just had a few missions where she had to chase Sly, because that's all we know.
Yeah. I like to think that she is dealing with a bunch of cases other than the Cooper gang.
Yeah.
And like she has more success with those other criminals.
I love this idea. I don't know what the story would look like. I also pitched ages ago, like a Neela prequel game where we find out how she's evil. I would love that too.
Yeah. I remember that.
And it would have to involve like something like very like GameCube 2000s, like an evil meter.
Which you max out.
Yeah, like she'd just go around like doing shit.
Large actions fill up the meter a lot, like killing someone. But you can also use a lot of little actions, like knocking glasses off a table, the way a cat does.
Kicking a puppy.
Yeah, because she's a cat.
Speeding in someone's drink.
Yeah.
Are we ready for our final segment?
I think we are. At least in terms of how long this has taken, at least yes.
To put this silly, goofy anniversary to bed. For my final act, I thought, how would it even be possible to throw a birthday party for the podcast and not have a fuck, marry, kill segment?
This is going to be my legacy. I'm so... Why did I do this?
If you made it through the Grease rhythm game DLC,
You have to fuck, marry, or kill him.
where they crank the racial insensitivity up to 100. I just need that DLC now.
What was it on to begin with? 73? Like, I struggle to imagine how they can make it worse.
I don't know. Just give him a durag or something. Just make it like the most racist shit that Sanzaro could put out.
Christ.
And that's after I suggested a Mari Bentley pregnancy minigame. Anyway, this is a special edition of Fuck, Marry, Kill, however.
Okay.
So it's Fuck, Marry, Kill, but also taking a note from your book. Choose one to be your lab partner, one to be your supervisor at McDonald's, and one to be stuck in an elevator with for 8 hours straight.
Okay.
Here are the choices.
So it's like, it's overlapped? Like I have to do one from each?
No, it's 6.
Okay, there's 6. All right.
And it's Fuck, Marry, Kill, lab partner, McDonald's, elevator.
Okay, hit me.
So we have Black Spot Pete, Palace Doorman,
Okay, playing the hits.
Battery of Peril, Fire Slug, Le Paradox,
Oh, ooh, yuck. Patooey.
and Mr. Beast.
Is it legally actionable if I say kill Mr. Beast?
After we talked about the Bentley pregnancy, I don't think so.
Yeah, because, like, he is kind of a real guy. And it... Okay. God, this is so...
Why are we even talking about like the repercussions of Kill Mr. Beast? Because obviously you choose 5. Oh.
This is, Why you gotta do me like this? Okay, I gotta start working this out.
Because you chose Kill Toothpick.
It's so...
This is revenge for Kill Toothpick.
Are you sure I can't get more than one kill?
Yes.
Okay. Choose that and put that there. Oh God. Ugh. Okay. 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 What have we left? Oh God, that's a bad one I have left. As I worked through it, the option of fucking the fire slug came up mentally, and my brain instantly like played the sound clip of "My dick fell off."
My dick's on fire.
Yeah, like that would you would die. Okay, I don't think there's a you delight in tormenting me, so there's no good answers here. But going through it in the order that I received the cast list. Black Spot Pete is going to be my manager at McDonald's because he's blind and
What?
absolutely confounded by technology. So I feel like there would be ways to like get ahead of him and like slack off.
And the Joy's being cussed at.
Yeah, he doesn't know any real swear words, so that's fine. He'd be like,
Oh, I'll teach you some.
he'd be like, "You're staying busy over there, right?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, boss," while I'm on my phone. I think
Well, you're
grease smelling, salty fried burger muncher.
piece of shit.
Palace Doorman, I fuck.
Absolutely.
Only to spite you. I guess I should have married him to take him off the table from you. But
What are we fucking?
yeah, that'll be the what we learn. We're going to learn what's there.
Listen, if we fuck the Mask of Dark Earth,
Yeah.
I think this is possible.
I think they could fuck each other because he, as we've established, is only eyes. So he...
Put the eyes in the eye hole.
Exactly, yeah.
It just works.
Battery of Peril, elevator. Because you'll recall my answer for the elevator previously was the Panda King because he would be quiet. Battery of Peril would be even more
Would
quiet.
make sex noises. Oh.
You have a very skewed... I hate to push against your worldview, but you have a very skewed vision, I think. A very unique perspective on the inanimate battery from the mission Battery of Peril. My understanding is that it is a battery that doesn't talk or do anything.
Okay.
So
That is comically large.
yeah, and it would just sit on the other side of the elevator as I waited 10 hours. Fire Slug got lab partner.
It would set the school on fire.
I guess the experiments are on the Fire Slug. I would be testing it for how hot it is and stuff. Kill the Paradox. I hate that guy. He symbolizes everything wrong with my least favorite video game ever made. Gotta kill that guy. I only have one bullet. I'll make it count.
Where?
It's his huge head. His huge head. His huge bulbous head.
That huge forehead finally paid off.
Yeah, hard to miss. This leaves Mr. Beast with Mary. Previously, I've talked about how marry and fuck are not the same. Like, you asked me when I chose to marry LaFouille what the sex life would be like. And I said there wouldn't be any, because it's distinct. And likewise, in the very first one, I brought up how if you marry someone, you could fuck them more. And how that was still a bad idea when it came to Neela. Nothing precludes you from marrying someone and then killing them. Thereby getting their inheritance. Getting their... I'm purely speaking hypothetically here, of course. But if you were to marry the world's richest YouTuber, and then they were to die under suspicious circumstances, you're probably getting quite a lot of that money.
Right. Okay. I'm just thinking that, like, LaFouille would probably want you to say you're the smartest man in the 7 seas while he was climaxing. But that's besides the point. Those are excellent answers.
Someone turn off that fucking whistle.
Forever. We had quite the overlap.
Oh god. Yeah, you go ahead with yours. I forgot that.
At the beginning.
Okay.
So I too said Black Spot Pete McDonald.
Okay.
Because he's blind.
You seemed quite surprised at my answer, but I see now.
That we had the same answer. I mean, I was sure you were gonna say fuck.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh.
The thing is, I was thinking like...
I legit shuddered. Oh, that's horrible.
You could throw him into like the deep fryer.
Yeah.
Because he's blind.
Yeah.
Or actually he'd voluntarily like fall in or something.
Doorman?
Palace doorman, fuck.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, we know your feelings.
Exactly. Battery of Peril, Mary.
Put a ring on that somehow.
Exactly. Here's and not that type of ring. Here's the thing about Mary.
Mm-hmm.
You correctly said that fuck and Mary are distinguishable.
Mm-hmm.
That Mary doesn't necessarily equivalent fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a marriage there can be none.
Yes.
But at the same time, in a marriage there can be sex every day. Battery of Peril, Mary.
It's a cylinder. It's just a cylinder, bro. Fire slug.
Fire slug, elevator.
You die.
Exactly. The whole thing would catch fire.
That is a horrible way to die.
I think even if like the elevator caught fire and it just dropped the whole way down and crashed, it would still keep jiggling.
Burns a hole in the floor.
It would still keep going.
You slip through the molten metal of the floor into the elevator shaft.
Not me, I'd be dead, but the fire slug would definitely keep shuffling.
Christ. Oh. Okay.
The fire slug has a t-shirt from 2012 that says every day I'm shuffling.
That's cute. That's nice.
The LMFAO fandom is dying. Guys, please.
Because they're stuck in an elevator with a fire slug. That's what's killing them.
Please live alike.
The paradox?
Please leave a like. Not to keep it alive or anything. Just leave a like.
Yeah, just leave a like.
Le paradox lab partner.
Okay. Why?
Because you could make him drink bleach.
Okay.
And kill Mr. Beast.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Rocksteady's Suicide Squad kill Mr. Beast for PS5.
Did you hear they're discontinuing that?
The kill the Justice League?
They're turning it off. They wrapped up the story somewhat abruptly, and then, like, in a couple months, you won't be able to play online anymore. Yeah,
Isn't it exclusively online?
pretty much. You can wander around offline if you feel like it. Yeah. Turns out live service games are bad. This is why I play old PlayStation 2 games. Sony.
That have battery of peril.
That have battery of peril. Exactly.
Battery of perils, plural. Is it battery of perils or batteries of peril?
I would say batteries of peril. Like passers-by. Chiefs of police.
But that would insinuate that the battery is a position of peril. Whereas battery of peril, government name, would be battery of perils, plural.
Anyway, this brings us to the end of our anniversary episode.
Which we are celebrating because this is coming out 1 year since our first episode.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just an insider tidbit. We had this idea of the episode. It was conceived because me and Snap were discussing behind the scenes that they might bring the Shamrock Shake
Fuck, I forgot about this.
to McDonald's London. Because last year, when we first started the podcast,
In the preliminary discussions before episode 1.
was that the Shamrock Shake does not exist in the UK, which I was very sad about because I wanted to try.
Yeah.
It's green.
It's grand.
And there's this rumor circulating that it might make its way across the pond, the Irish Sea, this year.
Who circulates these rumors?
The Battery of Peril.
Okay. That's a good answer.
The Battery of Peril told me in the ear while it was giving me sweet nothings. Can I just say that it might be true because I tried the Grimace Shake this year?
How was that?
Horrible.
Yeah, I got that impression.
It tasted like berries. Also, we are boycotting.
Yeah.
But if the Shamrock Shake does come,
If the Shamrock Shake comes, you're going to walk into the McDonald's and look very longingly at it. And they'll be like, sir, do you want to order something? And you shake your head and you walk out.
because shaking my head and walking out would insinuate Shamrock Shake.
I thought you said you were boycotting. So, like, this is the closest you're getting. You're allowing yourself, like, obviously not a literal taste, but like a proverbial taste of...
What if I pay for it but then burn the McDonald's down?
Yeah, that balances out.
Fire Slug, I have a new position for you.
Yay! Does that McDonald's have an elevator?
What if I got off my shift at McDonald's with my manager being Black Spot Pete and I'm in the elevator going up to change after my shift with Fire Slug and that's how we get stuck?
Yeah, and then your lab partner is the paradox, and that doesn't factor into anything.
Very much the plot of Thieves in Time, by the way.
Yeah.
So what did we learn today?
McSweeney doesn't exist.
Snap secretly likes Thieves in Time.
I did good on the dialogue challenge, though. And fuck Daxter. Fuck that horrible little beast. I hope he dies. I was giving you an opening to have some witty rejoinder, but no,
I don't have a witty rejoinder.
which means I win. Fuck Daxter. Episode over. That was not 1 hour. This is a longer episode than the last episode.
It's the way it has to be.